Welcome back to Kimchi Redneck's Kitchen. I
didn't realize I was co-starring with the Count today.
Well, I mean, we just watched Renfield the other day, so.
Yeah, we did. It was good.
Anyway, so we're cooking some stuff. Some Korean food, actually.
Today, we are making spicy cheesy ribs. So in Korea, it usually is made with baby back ribs, but baby back ribs were a little more pricey than what we didn't want to buy that many of them because we just wanted a small amount, so we went with short ribs.
So the basic difference is normally you get this thing and it's cut with the bone that way, so you get one bone, and meat all the way around it. The stuff we bought is cut this way against the ribs, so you get basically what's about the size of a piece of bacon, and it'll have 3 or 4 little riblets in it.
So
that's what we bought because it was cheaper.
Yes, and it's beef instead of pork, which is fine. It works for us. So it's still going to be spicy, it's still going to be cheesy ribs, still galbi. So in Korean, this is referred to as cheese dong galbi or cheese dong galbi. So one of the highlights about this dish is that even though the sauce that's going to be on the ribs is really spicy, the little meld of cheese around it, the melted cheese, you dip the ribs in there and you put the cheese on it and the cheese kind of cools the spice. We had this dish when we were in Busan.
Yes.
And we've not had it again. So when I ran across this recipe, we were both like, yes.
We did see a place in...
There's actually a place in Pyeongtaek that does it called Tasty Grilled Ribs.
Okay, and there was a place we saw we think might have done it in
Hongdae.
In Hongdae, but it was like lunchtime and they weren't open, so...
The other place is only usually open, the one in Pyeongtaek is only usually open for dinner, and that's why we haven't made it there yet. So the very first step is going to be putting this in water, and it's going to be for about 10 minutes, and that is so that we can get a lot of this blood out of the ribs. So I'm going to now drain these ribs, and we'll be right back. All right, so we have drained the water off, and the purpose of doing that is to kind of get some of the blood to pull out of the bone and
the meat and the bone and the marrow, yeah.
So we're going to now put this into boiling water, or parboiling our ribs at this point. And we have almost 2 pounds here. The recipe that we're using from My Korean Kitchen says 2.6 pounds, but what we got was 2, because
that's the size
that was the size they had in the package. So that is what we got. So you want enough water boiling to make sure you can cover all of your meat. Plus you're going to put in 2 green onions and cut a medium-sized onion in half and put that in the water as well. And then you want 1 teaspoon of whole black peppercorns and a 1/4 cup of rice wine or mirin. And then we let that boil for about 8 to 10 minutes. Now that we've got all of our stuff in there, we're going to get to a boil. I put the lid on, but not fully on because I want to be able to see it, but also to keep some of we have the air on in here, so keep it from pulling it down. We're going to actually make our sauce for our ribs now.
And for that, we're going to get some overhead view.
All right, so we need 3 tablespoons of gochujang. Now, for those of you who don't remember, gochujang is our delicious, lovely red pepper paste. And Chuck said to use all of it at full strength and full power.
We're going full Korean today.
We are full Korean today. We need a 1/4 cup of gochugaru. That is the Korean chili powder. We're going 1/4 cup of regular soy sauce and 2 tablespoons of that rice wine or mirin and 1/2 teaspoon of ground black pepper, 1 tablespoon of minced garlic. We're doing 6 tablespoons of honey. We have this honey that we got. It is a honey from product of Greece, so I'm hoping it tastes good. So 6 tablespoons of that. And we're going to whisk the ingredients together, which is going to make for a very sticky, spicy sweet sauce.
Why do I think we just made yangnyeom sauce?
I don't know. Do you want to taste it?
We made yangnyeom sauce.
Well, now we know how to make yangnyeom sauce. You should be excited.
Ooh, it is a bit chili-ish. Yeah, we got some...
All right, so you can move the lid now since it's actually boiling good.
Basically, any dish that you boil stuff with bones in it, you're going to get...
Scum
floating to the top. Now, the challenge with this dish is to get...
the scum
out without getting all the other ingredients that are floating in there.
We have rinsed our ribs off, And now we've got 1.5 cups of water here, and I'm going to put about half of this sauce into this water. So we're going to mix this up, and then this is going to cook in this. There we go, that's incorporated nicely. So I'm going to flatten out
some of
the beef so that it kind of has most of the beef like just laying in it. All right, so now we're back in. We are going to cook them over high heat for 5 minutes. While this was starting to cook, because some of these were sticking a little out of the liquid, I added a little sauce on top, and then I've also been kind of, while it's been boiling, adding a little bit of sauce, making sure everything stays moist and tender. But now we have been at 5 minutes of boiling on high heat, so we're switching down. We're going to go down to medium heat, and we're going to put a lid on it. We're going to cook this for 15 minutes at medium. 15 at medium. We're going to stir occasionally, and then so you don't get bored to death, we're not going to show you this, but after the 15 minutes, we'll take the lid off, stir it up again, and then we will put it on to medium low, and then it's going to cook for another 10 minutes.
So we'll see y'all in half
25 minutes.
All right, catching everybody up. Let me get a screen. Catching everybody up.
It's been 25 minutes.
So we've put the other half of the sauce into a different pot.
To heat up.
We decided we're going to throw the meat and the other warm sauce in with it just because.
Because why not?
We had a crazy idea. We will do a video on this side dish later, but there is a Korean side dish they make called cheese corn or drug cheese corn. Or we decided, since we have some canned sweet corn,
A can of corn.
and we're going to be
making the cheese sauce.
We're making cheese sauce. We might as well throw some corn in it and have some corn
Vegetables.
cheese with our what was it? Cheese what galbi? Cheese dongalbi?
Cheese dongalbi.
Cheese dongalbi. Cheese dongalbi. Our IR can speak.
Basically, we're just making these sticky sweet ribs good.
Yes.
This is like mess up your kitchen dish.
It seems like a one-pot dish when you get it to the table.
This is a Chuck-style dish. Mess up everything in your kitchen dish. Right, Chuck?
Seems like it.
All right, Chuck. I have a thing of cheese in the fridge. Will you grab that for me?
Cheese in the fridge.
So we've got about 1/4 cup of heavy cream here. We're going to pour that in here.
Putting the cheese in?
Put the cheese in, all of the cheese.
All the cheese.
And this is for us about 16 ounces of cheese.
Well, that's a vegetable, so that makes this a salad.
There you go. So the point at this point is we're just melting cheese. I did not put this on a high heat because I don't want to burn this cheese, but I will actually get a little.
And as we've mentioned before,
I'll get a little bit brown on the bottom because I like it brown.
As we've mentioned before, these gas burners cook hot. Whatever you think it's supposed to be at, turn it like a step below that. Get a little steamy steam on it.
Mm-hmm. So the other nice thing about this, having this in this pan here with it still cooking, is this will keep that cheese good and melty while we're still eating. So the goal is to make sure it's all good and melty in.
So we just throw the rest of it on top?
Yep, if you'll bring that back over, I'll start adding it in.
There's no way to make this dish pretty.
All right, you just dumped all of the sauce. All right, just dump it, Chuck.
I'm not trying to dump it.
At this point, just dump it. It's fine.
The Instagram photo this is not, but
Oh, yeah. Give me a second here. I got some green onions.
trying to get all the sauce.
Well, I got to make it pretty. Because green onions will make it pretty, right?
Well, it is Korean food. When in doubt, put some green onions and some sesame seed on it.
I mean, doesn't that look beautiful?
Actually, it does look pretty good. All right, so I got a little bit of rice here, because Korean food, rice. We expected the corn would kind of kill the cheese pull, but not so much. Cheese corny goodness.
So likely, a little bit easier if you have the long bones.
As usual, we're over here doing stuff the hard way. See how tender or chewy the beef is. Well, the bone came right off. Probably smarter to eat it with the tongs.
It is. Sometimes I know what I'm doing.
Okay, so we didn't cook it long enough to make the meat super tender.
No, it would have had to be cooked longer, and probably with baby back ribs, it wouldn't have needed as long.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I think we definitely will do it with baby back ribs next time.
Yeah, probably.
We just got to find them on a good deal. Whew. All right.
And maybe a little bit less. It is a bit spicy.
Maybe a little more cheese. It might have needed the more cheese. I think it's good. I'm happy. We're gonna go before he gets this all over everything.
Yeah, I gotta go sit down and eat this so I can get it closer to my face. This is a good meal. Whether you do the pork ribs or the beef ribs, it's up to you. I would recommend possibly cooking it, a bit longer to make sure the meat's a little more tender, but flavor-wise, it's good.
And with these style of ribs, what we might have actually had to do is cook it longer, but at lower temperatures, so that it actually was a little more tender.
Yeah, possibly.
But either way, we're not mad.
Try this. It's good.
And if you got baby back ribs, try it with baby back ribs.
I want my baby back. No, we don't want to get copyright struck.
You copyright striking me already? No, Maymay's down here like, I will take some. All right, we got to get dogs fed, us fed.
So,
Yeah.
like, subscribe, do the internet stuff. We'll see y'all next time.
Bye.